All right, so welcome to this video. In this video, we'll be going through the Korg EK50 basic setup and how to use this keyboard. This keyboard is a sweet keyboard because it can do about 3 voices, excluding the split. So this split is the root lower, without voice 1, voice 2, voice 3. So you can get rich tone from this keyboard. Now, if you switch on this keyboard, we all know this is your power button, which is very easy to recognize. Now, to deactivate any of these voices, for example, we have about 3 voices here. You just click on it. Now, if you click on it, you see it goes off, goes off. Now, there will always be one that will be blinking. You cannot have the 3 lights off at once. Now, currently, this is blinking off and on totally. It means it's going off totally. That means there's no sound on it. So if I click on it now, you will see that it's blinking, it's not going off totally, which means that this voice is selected, that I can change the voices here to be blinking also here. So you can see there's sound there. Now, when you switch on the Korg EK50, you might have it on this key set. Do not panic. Now, when you have it on this key set, it's just the basic combination that has been installed on this keyboard. So I don't know if you can see it. Let me just adjust this camera a bit. Now that's it. The key sets, different type of sets they've already done on the keyboard. Now to configure it in your own way, the sound you want, you can easily just click on Shift and on the upper voice, upper one. So you can select whatever voice you have, regardless of honky. Then if you're okay with that sound, you go to the next one. Now currently it's on dark pad. If you don't like the dark pad, you can select something else. Currently the dark pad is not playing because it's going off and on. So to make it stable, you just click on it like that. So if I deactivate this, you hear the dark pad. Now you can see the dark pad is low, and to increase the volume is very simple. Click on the voice and just turn this dial knob like this. Then you have it louder. So as simple as that. So that's how to adjust the volume. So we can have this on and this on. Now, whichever one that is blinking is showing the one that is currently activated on the screen, the exact voice. So if I select this upper one now, you can see that the upper one is blinking and upper two is not blinking, which means upper one is the voice selected on the screen. Now the third voice, let us say you click on the third voice like this, you can see that even though we've clicked on the third voice, it's not the voice that is showing on the screen. To make it show, you just click on this, then you can see the exact third voice. So it's the one blinking. So basically, when it is blinking off and on a bit, like it's not going off totally, it's showing you, like it's pointing you to, okay, this is the voice that is selected on the screen. As simple as that. Currently, let me just play what we have here. So the 3 voices like that will sound like that. Now moving to the lower, now you have this lower is the same principle. When the lower is off like this, it means there's no voice selected on the lower. Then when we have it like this, now we can just click on the shift and the lower to pick a sound. Then we correctly have the EL bars. Now if you press the lower, you will not hear the bass. Why? Because something is not on. To make it work, you just click on this split. Then when you click on the split, you can hear the bass. Now to adjust the lower volume is the same thing. Just hold on it and adjust the scroll wheel. Very, very simple. So that's one awesome thing about this keyboard. So when you deactivate the split, even though your lower is on, you will not hear any actual voice. Now to select a split point is very, very simple. Just hold the split and press any key. It's going to split it to that point before that key. So let us say I want to split to this point. I will select this. Now when I click on this, for example, okay, when I, so you can see, so that's just it. So if you want to split to this point, you select this, then it's going to split to this point. So that's just how the split work basically. So that's all about the voice section. Now this assembly section, what it does basically is probably when you're using the drum patterns. So let us say you want to create something. Maybe let me reduce this. So you can add percussion. Then we have bass. So this assembly, when you have it on, is just to add extra variations to whatever sound you actually playing at that moment. So I don't actually use it, so I don't really go there. So we have the so you also have the loop function to loop certain points on this beat. So you can select the point you want to loop. So this is basically if you want to use the arrangement section. Probably I will not be going too deep into that. Now the next important part is your metronome. So you have your metronome there. So to reduce or increase your metronome speed, all you have to do is to hold shift and turn the die knob. So this applies to beat also. If you're using a beat and you want to, let us say you're using this beat. So you click. So you could see all I needed to all I needed to do was to hit the shift and turn the dial knob. It adjusts the tempo. Now the next important part is the bank. Now this bank, it has up to H. You can save up to H. I don't know. That's more than 16 or 28 or more than 28 voices. So you could save voices. To save voice, all you have to do is to come here, hit the bank, and hit the number. You see it blink, then it saves the voice. So currently I have some voices saved, on this particular keyboard for worship. So it's on key sets now. It's not showing the exact voice I have currently. So I can just click shift to show the voice on the first part. So I have this here, and for my praise I have this. So for the praise, I have different voice I basically use. So you can select from bank A, bank B, bank C, and so on. There are various banks you could use. So you could mess around it and see what works for you. So you could save all your patches on this keyboard, so that anyone you need, you can easily just call it up. So that's just it about the bank. So the next important part here is a speaker. To switch off the speaker off, you can just hit on the shift and off. Then you hear no sound whenever I play this clip. To do it back, you just click and on, shift and on. So you have different type of speaker boost. So most times I just leave it on standard, which is okay. But if you want more bars or whatever, you could mess about around that. Here you have the setting, and this setting is very, very simple. You could set your touch, and this is where you can set your touch whatever you want, add or whatever. So you could mess around all these settings. So this is your scale root, chord detection, master tune, upper scale. And there's one important part. Local control on means when you switch it on and off, you will not hear sound from this keyboard. And this is useful when you're using this keyboard for MIDI, or you could just use the speaker off. So this is audio in level. At the back of this keyboard, there is a audio in where you could connect an external sound into, and it's going to play from this speaker. So this is the volume. You can find it in the settings. Then you have the auto power off to off when you want this keyboard to actually go off on its own, and you can increase it or leave it at the normal time. You have the battery type also. I think I've covered. Now, this another important part is a pedal polarity. And this pedal polarity is where you could select, probably if you're using a pedal that doesn't have a switch, you could actually reverse it to suit the pedal so that when you press, it sustains, not when you press, it is actually holding the keyboard. So that's just what this pedal polarity is. So it's a very, very useful feature if your pedal doesn't have polarity switch. So another thing, let's get back. Now, if you're in the settings, to go back, you can just hit on the style. Then it's going to take you back to where you are. So basically, to change your styles is very simple. You click on shift, and when you click on shift, if you see this music style is on set, then you can click on it again. Then it's style, so you can change different type of style. So once anything you select that is on, you see it blinking. So that's just it about style. So you want to be careful about this style because when you change your style, most times it changes the voices. In fact, it changes the voices you have on. So whenever you want to use style, make sure you've selected the style and you saved it with the exact patch. Because when you change the style, it actually changes the voice combination on it. So be careful with that style. So I don't even see any reason why you want to use style actually. So you have the bank. I've covered that. Then the next thing is your metronome, your transpose. Now this transpose is quite simple. Now let us say let me just deactivate all this voice. Now it's on keyboard set. Be careful. when it's on keyboard set, it's changing these voices here, not the actual voice. So to see the actual voice, you see sound. So basically, to transpose is simple. So you have to do is to just count. So if you are on C and you want to play on E, one, two, three, four. So you press this four times, one, two, three, four. So it's just the same principle. So to reset them, you just press the two together. Now underneath here, you have the octave shift. Now basically to shift an octave, you press shift and you press it again. So you can see that's the octave shift. To reset the shift, to reset it, you just press the shift and it is going to take it back to zero. So that can also be useful. Now this tap tempo feature is, we have it on most keyboard. If you tap it fast, one, two, three, four, it's going to determine the tempo is. So if you tap it, it's going to determine the tempo that is going to set. So if you want something fast, you can that's going to take it fast. Then once you start the beat start, once the beat starts, let's say for example, so you can see how fast that is. So if I do like this, so it depends. So this tap tempo can be a useful feature also. Now the last important thing I want to cover here is category. Now instead of you using this scroll wheel to go one by one, you could use this category. It's going to be flipping it to various sections like piano, A piano. If you flip it again, it's going to go to another section, which is like the accordion section. If you switch it again, it's going to go to probably the organ section. Then you can keep going like that. This is the pipe organ. So this is guitar session, violin session, and it can keep going like that till you get to the exact. So this is the drum section. So this is the category switch, can be very, very useful if you want to quickly just flip to a section. And also you could, if you know the numbers, you can just press it 001 and all of that. So that's just the basic thing about this keyboard. Now, for the flash section, probably I might also, because you could actually play um, loop with this keyboard, with a flash. Probably I'm going to make another video on that. So, but before you can do that, the first thing you want to get ready is to flash the flash. Probably I'm just going to go through the procedure in another video. So that's just the basic thing about this keyboard. And if you press this grand piano, it's going to just reset it to grand piano. So most important thing you should take note is what is on the screen. So when it's in keyboard set, know that anything you're adjusting is not the sound there. So if you to adjust any sound, you go shift and press it. Then once it's blinking off and the light is going totally off, you know that the sound is not on. But once it's going dim and coming up again, it's only going to be showing you the sound that is selected. So that's just the basic thing about this keyboard.